Hello, guys, and welcome 3:03 Eastern Time in the United States. And we started our broadcast with the Lynn Su on the Cats Video production. Lynn, hello and welcome. How are you today? What's new?
Hi, I'm doing good. A lot of door knocking for me.
Yes, a lot of them, and so far the very I don't know it's a good or bad news, but Biden got COVID, and this is confirmed.
Your question,
So
Peter,
we
when you were
got
asking me about that,
the
it's not
live
that simple.
broadcast
It's
from
not
the
that easy.
White
There's a
House,
process that
who
has to
is the
go through.
doctor who's
And just
confirmed
because
he
I
got
was with the
COVID,
president yesterday,
and
you all
so
saw
there's
me
so
with the
many
president,
people talking about
that
the
I am not considered close
isolation
contact.
of the
Go ahead,
Biden.
Jackie.
So far, it's just only
House would have
medical
emergency
reasons,
use
but who knows?
authorization for
Analysts
patients who
and
are at high risk for
politicians,
progression to
the
severe
most
disease. So,
started to
clinically
saying
speaking, either
that's
because
not
of this
only
diagnosis
like
or
a
his age
medical
or any
isolation.
underlying
They
conditions or
started most talking
otherwise, is
about
the
this is
president
the
at high risk for
politician
progression to severe
isolation,
disease?
or who
So,
knows? Maybe they can,
if you look at the EUA of the
take
FDA,
that
then it
25th
links to a
Amendment
CDC
of the
website that gives
Constitution
you what are
for
the
to
risk
change the
factors.
president in the
Um,
future.
and
So, what do you
and
think
age is
about that
certainly one of them.
situation? What is your
And I
first
have made the
comment on that?
point that
I mean, this
anyone
is
over
so
the age of
funny so
50
far, but Democrats
um,
they just
is somebody who is eligible for
they can
Paxlovid,
use
and
this
obviously people
chance
under 50, if they
chance,
have serious
and you
chronic
can
disease as well.
switch
But I believe
the
anybody over
Biden
the age
who
of
got
50
so
is
many
eligible for
so low
Paxlovid. The
ratings,
president
politician
is
ratings
above the
right
age of
now,
50.
and he got
And
so
then,
many
can you just
politician
confirm for us that
problems.
there were no
Well, first of
positive
all,
cases around the
I don't
president in the
usually
last
say
couple of
anybody's
days, or that
Can
he
you
was
make a
found to
little
be
bit
positive
lower
for
your
anyone
mic?
who
I mean,
was
louder
positive?
your mic because
But
it's
you've
a
answered
little
this,
bit
but go
lower.
ahead.
Yeah, I've already answered.
the news is
I've
actually
no, I did. I answered it. I told you what our
Okay.
protocols are, and we have said I told you what our protocols were, and as we have been committed since the last July, we disclose
So
on
no,
our
you're
president's
getting
phone all of the
more lower, but
principal
higher.
points
So
of contact of a staff who tested positive
how is it
is
now?
defined by the
Yeah, it's
CDC. This
better.
is
It's better.
defined
Yeah.
Okay,
by,
great.
again,
So I
the
just have to talk
CDC.
louder.
Oh, when tested
Yeah.
positive,
Okay, so
be transparent
I
about
was
it.
going to say that I don't wish COVID on anyone, and especially when it's our president,
That's not what I'm
President
saying.
Joe
I am
Biden.
saying that
I do wish him a speedy recovery. I hope he gets out of this, and I hope all the vaccines that he has taken is going to help him show less symptoms. So, and not take too much of a toll on his health. I think I don't know if he was saying something about he had cancer when he was talking about Delaware.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't know if that was a slip or if that was real, but we don't have any administrative or any physicians, his own physician, to be talking about that. So either way, taking the 25th Amendment is a little worrisome for me because the person who's going to take his spot next will be Kamala Harris. And as much as Joe Biden is a nightmare for American people, I think Kamala Harris would be the ultimate nightmare. So that's that I mean, like
And
right
some
now, like
analysts say also that Gavin Newsom is gonna be, running with her in this case.
yeah, I think he would be appointed, right? Because I think they get to appoint a vice president. And I swear to God, these people keep failing upwards, right? Like Kamala Harris was a terrible whatever she was before, and like as a senator, she was terrible, and she failed upwards going into the vice presidency. I mean, under a whole I don't want to say this, but there's a there's a skin color thing going on, like it's kind of a nightmare. I think a country of 300 over 300 million people, there are so many qualified individuals who could, take this place on the Democrat side, and yet none of them have been considered. So with that said, like I think that Gavin Newsom is also another failed, politician who's failing upwards as well. I guess it really does depend on who you know. So that's something to look into.
So, and Gavin Newsom already told everyone what he is against, running against also Ron DeSantis in Florida. He started his campaign to move people from Florida to California. But the people actually ran away from California to any states because the higher taxes, because of the homeless people, because of the all this racist agenda. and so the people getting crazy in California. So if you would like to see the whole country like a California right now, so please vote for the Gavin Newsom for the president. This is a thing. So
Okay. Well, here's the thing, right? I saw his commercial. He said, come to California where we still believe in freedom. And for me, it's like the freedom to force people to get vaccines when they don't want to, the freedom to, to let people riot and loot their businesses when, you really can't afford any damages to your business. Yeah, that kind of freedom is what Gavin Newsom is offering to his people. Like you said, if you agree with Gavin Newsom, please go to California. Please do not California my Florida.
Oh yeah. So Lynn, let's assume what if? Yeah, this is my favorite questions. What if? What if Biden is gonna be replaced soon? Really? What is it affected to locals elections? Is it affected to your personal campaign to run for the Congress, for the Florida Congress representative, for state representative? What do you think?
Well, it all depends, right? I think that the Democrat Party is also a little hesitant about invoking the 25th Amendment because, for obvious reasons of like Kamala Harris being the next in line. They probably didn't think that, their affirmative action case for Kamala Harris was actually going to backfire. And they thought, we could have a lame duck president for like 4 years just to get, Trump out of office. And it worked. But the problem is like now that we have a president who's made every wrong decision, I haven't seen any decision that he has made that was correct or that was spot on or that was commendable. Like any of these things all the things that he has passed through so far has been quite a nightmare. I think that he is dividing the country even more from what we had already been divided over. It's unthinkable. So basically, what I think about Joe Biden leaving and how it would affect my campaign, I think that American people are smart. Okay, I don't mean like you don't have to be born here to be American, and you could be naturalized. But overall, people are very intelligent. They know when clear and present danger is there in front of them. What will happen is my assertion. Like a lot of things, like how Biden was actually elected. A lot of people voted down the ballot for Republicans, but voted out Donald Trump because they didn't like him. And that's understandably so. In this case, if we do have, in this midterm election, it is so important for you to elect Republicans, right? Because at least whatever bad decision that he will continue to make, whether it be him or being replaced by Kamala Harris, that like there's going to be someone holding the fort and not letting those ridiculous legislation pass through. So that's very important. I think that is going to be the way that the Americans will vote. I mean, I can't tell them how to vote, but I think this is going to be the most common sense solution as long as we have our rights to the ballot box. Oh, you're on mute.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I personally believe that all have a reason, especially in the politics. Looks, he's dropped from his bicycle not so far ago, so he has not very right results, and he is visited to Israel and so many South Arabic. He has a problem with his health. He mentioned the cancer. I think that's not just a randomly thing. I think this is just a reason for maybe for replace him. Maybe I think he's just preparing everything, preparing media, preparing people to that announcement, the great announcement, because they're talking, the president has to be isolated and blah blah blah. What do you personally think about that exact story with the Biden COVID? This is the final step to just announce to everyone the Biden is not going to be president of United States?
I don't think that's enough. I mean, as long as he doesn't do a cognitive test and the doctors actually say that it's, I mean, there has to be reasonable due diligence done, right? They can't just invoke the 25th Amendment and take away someone's power just because he had COVID. I mean, like various different presidents had COVID, right? President Trump had COVID.
Yes, he
Yeah,
did.
and the UK, the guy who resigned, forgot his name now. I can't recall it right now, but he had COVID. Several other country leaders have had COVID, and they've gotten out it just fine. And if I recall correctly, I thought Biden already had COVID once
Yeah.
because, right, he had COVID once, he survived it, and I do wish him a speedy recovery again. But still, at the same time, like I don't think that COVID is going to take him out. I think that if they were to do a cognitive test on him and see if he was like coherent enough to put together sentences without reading off a card or, doing something along those lines or testing his, mobility and all that and making sure his health is up to par because with all these foreign travels that he's about to do or has done and will be doing, he's going to be it's going to take a toll on his health for sure. So unless they can prove it that way, I don't think that it's just going to be, all right, let's invoke the 25th Amendment on him. Like, I don't think that's going to work.
Okay, let's talk about the Green Deal, about the radical left, who is I'm afraid of them because that's a the most dangerous thing in the planet, I think, because the Democrats gone a little by little, but what's going instead of the Democrats? It's radical left, and with the Green Deal and with some blah blah blah. So let's talk about Florida in this case. Do you really think the Green Deal is step by step, little by little, comes to the Florida and affect it and destroy our energy here, our energy independence in the Florida? What do you personally think about energy independent in our state?
Well, luckily for us, we have some pretty good legislators, and our governor, has their head on straight. So they actually are handling that and making sure. All we need to do is make sure that the federal government does not infringe on state rights, right? As far as if we have state rights present and, we manage our own thing and anything that has to do with international is international. But the problem is right now, I think that they're trying to make this a federal issue, right? So it's just not, it's unconstitutional, let's put it that way. So, I mean, every state has the right to manage their own thing. However, when it comes to things like, gas and oil, all that, sometimes it's also dictated, by the federal government in some instances. So we want to make sure that that doesn't happen. And what else was your question? Like, do you think that that's going to affect Florida?
Yes, like it affected the Massachusetts because the Biden was yesterday. He was in the Massachusetts, and guess how people invite him. I just show you the video how people
Yeah,
happy.
no, I remember that now. That's where he confessed that he had cancer from Delaware.
Yeah.
So
But
basically,
let's see for a second.
okay, let's watch it.
Pieces of shit.
Dumbass! Bunch of maggots.
Yeah. Yep.
people not really happy about his visit in Massachusetts. So,
Yeah, you can hear "Let's Go Brandon" going on in the back as if they were watching a car race. But
yeah,
well, like I said, I think that even though because we have a Republican governor in Massachusetts, I think the House in general and the people in general are very liberal. I would like to say that I'm just going to say liberal, but basically, like, and it's nonsense, right? Like, how much wind do they get? How much sun do they get? They really want to, they want to push these agendas. Like, and like I always say, like, always follow the money, right? Where is the money? Like, who's producing like wind turbines and who is producing solar cells? So who are the biggest producers of all time, right? Like right now, it's dominated by China. So by wanting to push this and subsidizing federal money into, putting in solar panels and whatnot, like then they're going to have a backup, right? Because like Texas, when the extreme weather hit, all of these green energy type things didn't work. Now, the truth is, like, if they really, do it punch for punch, let's see what is really the most green energy that you could produce. I mean, most experts will say whatever's available right now, the most green and cleanest energy that we can create, right, is definitely nuclear, right? Anything else that we use gas and oil for that we can't avoid, we use gas and oil. But it's something that people don't even look into because they're so terrified by, Chernobyl and Japan and whatnot. And like today in the modern day, like nuclear is still very safe. It is still very clean. And if you're really, really into green energy, you should use nuclear because the electric cars that we want to charge actually uses, fossil fuels to charge
yes.
them. So, and it uses fossil fuels to make them. So like, how much carbon are you actually offsetting? Like people don't even think about that. It's great to have an electric car. It makes you feel good. You pay a lot of money because you could be environmentally clean in your emissions from your drive, but you didn't look at what happened before the car got to you. And you're not looking at how you're charging your car. Like there was a question on the news yesterday and they asked like, how do you charge your car? They said, plug it into the wall. It's because like, that's how they get the electricity to charge their car. But excuse me, where did you get that, electricity from? Like really look into what it is that you're, don't follow whatever the narrative is trying to push on you, because it's this that is actually gaslighting us every day, right? Telling us that, yeah, that's clean, right? Like electric cars are clean. So we should, get electric cars. Like, no, I mean, like we're not going to go anywhere for the next 6 months because anybody who's ordered a Tesla, I mean, it's taking them over almost a year now to get
The
their
price
cars.
is up. Elon Musk told that today even what the price is going up because the economy situation. Nothing to do with that. The electric car getting expensive, more expensive and expensive, and it's not affordable for the most of the Americans because it's very expensive, and we don't know what's next. We don't know how how much we have to pay for the charged cars, for the service of this car, and so many of to do. So, but I remember, listen, I just watched into the YouTube recently, and I find some video which is really very interesting for me. That was from February 11, 2020. That's for the Biden campaign. He's run for the president. So the just image of the Biden right now, it's so kind and a polite person and blah blah blah. I just want to show you that video and we can discuss after that. This is very
Okay.
short.
The candidate with the greatest advantage in this race. You've been the vice president. You weren't burdened down by the impeachment trials. So, in the participation. So how do you explain the performance in Iowa, and why should the voters believe that you can win the national election?
It's a good question. Number one, Iowa's a Democratic caucus. You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but now you got to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you.
I go to the Urban Dictionary, so he actually says lying dog-faced pony soldiers. This is not an idiom, because what I found shocked me. So this is the term used for the cock whore who has the face of dog and the body of the dog. The nasty females who knows of having lots of personal sex, sucking dick for cock, fucking on her mom bed. Oh my God.
Oh
And
my
I
God.
saw that, and it was very,
I hope
very,
your show is a PG.
yeah. Listen, this is not this is the story. This is the story.
Oh.
What do you think about that? I read that, and so the answer is supposed to be you're a fucking dog face.
Oh.
It is, yes. It's I have no space in my mind to put it inside, you know?
Oh.
And
Well,
when Biden get this these words from Hunter, so
well, I noticed that the president always, reverts to this line that he calls people whatever the
this is
pony.
war two, of course. This
Yeah,
comes
when
from
he's
his just
challenged,
campaign, but
right? When he's under pressure, when he's challenged, when he's forced to answer something that he cannot answer. So that is Joe Biden's standard, reply if he is pressured. If you ask the right question, like that lady asked the right question, I mean, it's going to come out. Every time you ask him something that is like he cannot answer, you'll see that. So you can go back and find when he called anybody a, dog face, then you know exactly that you've already hit a button. Like that's
but
there's
if go
my
radical
2
left
cents
like
on that
this,
comment.
so if you have a different opinion, you have to lose your job. You have a different opinion, you have to ban on the social medias. You have to you have to be punished for that. So this is the new political view. You have to be punished for that. So even that Mary Garland told everyone regarding Donald Trump. Let's see this.
This is the most wide-ranging investigation and the most important investigation that the Justice Department has ever entered into. And we have done so because this effort to upend a legitimate election, transferring power from one administration to another, cuts at the fundamental of American democracy. We have to get this right. And for people who are concerned, as I think every American should be, about protecting democracy, we have to do two things. We have to hold accountable every person who is criminally responsible for trying to overturn a legitimate election, and we must do it in a way filled with integrity and professionalism, the way the Justice Department conducts investigations. Both of these are necessary in order to achieve justice and to protect our democracy. And look, no person is above the law in this country. Nothing stops us.
Even a former president.
I don't know how to, maybe I'll say that again. No person is above the law in this country. I can't say it any more clearly than that. There is nothing in the principles of prosecution, in any other factors which prevent us from investigating anyone who's criminally responsible for an attempt to undo a democratic election.
Not even single words about BLM, who burned out federal buildings, who burned out police officers. No even single words about Hunter Biden. No even single words about who tried to destroy energy independence in the United States. No one single words but Donald Trump. So this is political pressure. This is the political what the Mary Garland doing. This is the all show respect and support to Biden regime. So what is your comment on this case? He was talking about J6, of course, but
Well, first of all, thank God he was not. He was not, approved for the Supreme Court as he was
oh yeah.
nominated, because that would have been a nightmare. Someone who is this partisan and is not looking at the Constitution as it is, he deserves everything that he gets. So absolutely, I'm so happy that he was not a Supreme Court justice. So with that said, that I think that there's so many the polarization that is going on from our from the administration, from the legislation, like it's just really pulling us apart, right? It's pulling us apart. And J6, I mean, like, there was another talk show host that sent a bunch of people in, and they went in and started taunting all the politicians, especially the Republicans, and they were set free. Like, that's okay to do, but it's not, I mean, like, they should treat these two cases the same way, right? There were people who went into the Capitol and started, like, I wouldn't say teasing, but like they went in to start to, affect a lot of the state representatives, I mean, the House representatives in DC, and they were released from prison. And that's okay, because they are actually attacking Republicans, but it's not okay to, go into the House and, I think that these people do, I mean, people who did go in, I think they do deserve to be punished a little bit. And I mean, what's a little bit? I don't know, right? Or what is the extent of it? I think it was I think it was bad for them to go in. Let's just make it clear. It wasn't a good idea for them to break into the Capitol and do what they did, because actually this was intended to just be a protest in front of the Capitol, just to make sure that, that they get their voices heard, right? It wasn't going to change anything. We all know that, like, that whole process was a tradition almost. It was only meant for confirming everything. It wasn't meant to be changed. Mike Pence couldn't do anything about it. Neither could any of the votes that they voted against, because it was the electoral that actually voted. So, and that's it. It was just to confirm, but it wasn't to change anything. But they wanted their voices heard, and being at the Capitol steps was going to make it heard, but they went a little too far. So definitely they do get to be punished, but in solitary confinement for over a year and a half, like that, I think is a little excessive.
Yeah,
but anyway, to Merrick Garland's point, I think it's just this is where they're playing politics, where they should be putting in justice, and that's all I have to say.
Yeah, and we forgot to mention the American citizens who just he told they are criminals just for protecting their child in the school of critical theory, race theory in the school. This is absolutely un-American. So I just remember his statement he told about it, that all parents are criminals only because of that. Yeah, so many
Yeah, so now
things.
parents are not. I mean, like, I don't know if you read any of George Orwell's literature. Did you read 1984 by any chance?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, like, this is not like, that book was written for us to be warned of
Yeah.
these things, and it's actually becoming a Bible for them, right now. It's like, okay, what do we do next? Let's look at 1984. And what is it? What do? They invalidate parents, right? Like, now it's like you belong to the state. You're no longer your parent. What's going on here? Like,
this is democratic agenda, so the child is not belongs to the parents.
Correct.
They're growing up at a certain age. They go to the school, and they just reached out 5 years old. They can change the gender. They can change anything, but nothing else. This is horrible, really. Things.
It's ludicrous. It's crazy. Like everybody is trying to do this as a, you know, as a way to. They're using this whole, you know, the playbook, the Marxist playbook, like as if it's something to look forward to, you know.
So much going on in the country, the whole country, I mean. But let's back to the Florida, to election, the election Florida. So just a little time we got left until the elections here. Yes, in
Mm-hmm.
August. It's very important for us. So August 23rd, right?
Yes, August 23rd is the last day, is the day of the election, right? We have early voting August 8th through 21st. So make sure that you do, if you decide to vote in person, like go between 8 and 21. And of course, we have locations. And then for people who are submitting mail-in ballots, please make sure that you mail that out by August 15th, okay? So that it will get there in time. Remember, after the polls close on the 23rd, no other ballots will be accepted. And I think we can appreciate that is going to be the effort from all the supervisor of elections to make sure that we have a clean and an honest election coming up. So yeah, there's a name on the ballot. I know that we always go by Lynn Su, and it's only for you to remember it easily. And there's my last name, so you can, you know that, like, if you see the longest name on the ballot in 106, you know that's me. Okay.
Yeah, this is. I try to find one more time the ballots to see to represent to everyone one more time. Yes, it's here. So
Awesome.
give me another seconds, and it's appear on the screen, and we can see that's perfectly one more time. Okay, so it's here. It's here. So. Okay, so guys, when you go through the ballot, so you can find Lynn Su in the third big field. Her name is on the bottom here is Lynn Su, Sijapojiknul, representative 57.
Yes.
Sijapojiknul. That is a problem.
Oh, well, now you know why it's Lynn Su.
Yeah, but you can mark here. Or you can mark here. Her name is here.
Yeah.
So yes, and before, if you still got questions, she has a email. Her email is lynn@lynsu.com. That's
Yeah.
just a short version of your last name.
Yes.
And website. Oh, you can go to the website. You can still request it how to be a volunteer, and this is still important. This is the very important thing. So you can help with election. You can help with the everything. And I believe till that time you have some politicians meeting with the people who are going to be on your voters. So tell us a little bit more what you're going to do before August 23rd.
So August 23rd is around the corner. I think our mailer dropped today. So I mean, a friend of mine has seen my mailer in the mailboxes. So check your mailbox, take a look at that. Okay. I just want to share a little bit about me, just so you know who I am and why I'm doing what I'm doing. Right. Politics is really not. I mean, like, you know, when you do business, you know that, like, there's tips and tricks in businesses. I mean, things certainly happen, and that's the nature of it. The nature of politics is, like, very, very swampy. So I totally understand when when Donald Trump talks about draining the swamp. Like, it would really bring in more quality people into politics. I decided to jump in because I realized that I've been involved in various nonprofits, and I realized that it's really not making a dent I'm only putting a Band-Aid on a wound that is like, that keeps perpetuating, right? It keeps showing up. I mean, everything that keeps showing up is because there is no good legislation. What I'm hoping to do when I get there is to work with other legislators to see how we can clean up, make sure that all our laws are enforced, people are protected for their rights to make a living, for their rights to go work, for their rights to, to make sure their children get a good education, and we have that available. So we want to make sure that we have them available, right? We have good education. We make sure that our small businesses are protected and that we're not taking away their rights with all the regulations and all the bureaucratic red tape that is like getting in their way. And thirdly, I want to make sure that, I want to make sure that we have a good system for our awesome healthcare. America has the best healthcare in the world. And yet at the same time, we do not have a good system that will support it into having people to have accessible access and affordable healthcare. So that's something that I really want to work on. Of course, in my district, we have our own issues, right? There's issues with traffic. There's issues with the rise of homelessness. There's issues with floods. There's issues, with our current situation of seawater rising, right? We want to make sure that our environment is safe, our homes are protected, and we are protected. So that is something that I really will look into when I get into office. So with that said, I have two competitors in this primary race for August 23rd. So, on August 20th, I really would appreciate your vote, okay, in support of having a chance to go fight in Tallahassee for you. And really, this is all about how you're spending your tax money. Is the representative going to be responsible and making sure that your money goes farther? It's going to make sure that your voice matters, right? I've been to several city meetings and, council meetings or any meeting at all, like school board meetings. You could talk to your blue in the face and they will vote the way they vote. So I'm not going to be one of those people. I'm here to really represent you and make sure that I stand for you. I am not a millionaire. I don't have money or businesses that are at stake. I am not here just to, make sure that my name is famous or, for any other purpose, right? I am a mortgage lender. My husband works in a corporation for a food service, company. So we are just regular people who are just completely fed up with people not listening to us, not listening to what we want, not listening or not doing things that we need to have done. What is wanted and needed is not addressed. And yet they have time to talk about other things. So right now there are so many great legislators in Florida. Florida is the beacon of freedom right now, right? I want to make sure that we keep Florida on that path. I don't want to change it. I don't want to do anything to do it. I want to make sure that our freedom is protected. And I know that everyone here who's listening to the show is also appreciative of the freedom that America gives. We don't want that to go away. So don't forget.
Yes, exactly.
Lynn
And
Su,
also,
57.
I want to just a little add to the information that you got a very good team. That is a very good, yes, because their team, they do very professional things. They do the application, they collected data, they work with the people, they know how to change the situation, they know completely how to do that, and they are very professional. So you're not going like you alone, you're going with your team already, and can change the situation. Because I strongly believe that only some politician with the team can change the situation. So just tell us about your team as well, because it's very important. This is the very important. You just tell us before. Just you remember we talk about the application, who's collect all the information, but what's in the rest? Tell us a little bit about your team.
Well, first of all, I mean, this is a definite shout out to my team, though, right? They are, I mean, I am very blessed to have my team members. And I believe that they are here with me because they also believe in the freedoms that Floridians deserve, right? They believe in our rights. They believe in our Constitution. They believe in the things that I want to create and provide for the state or protect against the federal overreach or wherever it is that you're not protected from. So that's what they believe in. I think that that's the most important thing as to why these people are on the team. They're not here for me. I am not going to help them be famous. I'm not going to help them make more money. Everybody is a volunteer, and they do it wholeheartedly because of you, because of the people in this district, because of the people in the state of Florida. So this is something that I've seen their commitment, and they have stuck with me. It's been a year. It's been at least 14 months now that some of the team members who have been with me are with me. And it's all inside of what we're creating together. We're creating We the People are over any politics, right? It's all about us. So I want to thank my team for that and just let everybody know how much I appreciate them. And I hope that they're listening to this. But that's one of the reasons. When you volunteer for me, you're volunteering for the state of Florida. You're volunteering for Floridians. You're volunteering for people in District 106. It's all about us making sure that we are free to have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness present in every day. Like, we will choose our life, not the government, right? So when you volunteer for me, when you help me make phone calls, when you help me knock on doors, when you help me tell people or forward my emails, when you help share this video podcast, it's all because we want Florida to be free. So please, if you are a stand and you don't want to sit idly by and complain about things, you want to make a difference, this is your chance. So my team, we have 7 or 8 active members that are the core team. And then we have the outside skirts of people who help us make phone calls, people who help us knock on doors. And that's another 20, 30 people that we have a pool of that we can pull from. But the 7 core team members, right, we have 4 major teams. First of all, I have a campaign manager. I have a social media or marketing director who takes care of our social media and our emails. I have an IT person, and I have a finance person. And within those teams, there are other team members that support them. So I structure it. I mean, I'm a business person, so I structure everything like it's a business. And really, politics is a business. I've spoken to a lot of friends who are business owners as well. And we manage this with like a business, right? What's profitable is the vote. What will bring in the vote. And that's how it's profitable. The money that we spend, we try to spend as little as possible. And also, if you can donate to the campaign, I would appreciate it. But I know that a lot of people, in the inflation period, it's very tough. But listen, I mean, $5 is not going to make a difference for you,
It's
right?
not
If you
even
don't,
cup of coffee. Yes, and
mm-hmm.
this can change the situation. If you can
Yes,
donate for campaign, it's gonna be changed. There's only one way. How can we change it? There is no
yeah.
other ways.
No, there is no other way. I mean, it's the people who are in Tallahassee, people who are in DC that are dictating how things are happening right now, right? It's a combination of all these things. Your city council people are also the ones that are dictating how things go. You know, if they want certain builders or investors to come in and cause all kinds of havoc, then that's also something that you can also create and cause by casting your vote. So basically, this is very important. Like Nick said, how can you make a difference? You either exchange it with some time or you can exchange it with some money. If you believe in me and you believe that I will do what I say I will do, which I will, definitely donate. I don't know. I mean, for your show, if anybody's listening, $10.60, right? To get 106. I'm not expecting a lot. The
Even
more
a
people,
penny, even a penny can change the situation if because when a lot of people, the more of
Mhm.
us, the penny means it can change the situation. Yes, please, guys. So this is again, this is the only one way how support our politicians who running for us, who we can
Yeah.
delegate our rights toward in everywhere. Yes, because we are delegated our rights for politicians.
Yeah, in a constitutional republic, the only way to cast your vote is to vote for a representative. So that's what that's all I have to say. But what I'm saying is, any amount of money is not too little. It's actually encouraging when I see that little amount of money trickle in, because I know that like you're listening to me and you believe in me, right? I mean, that's the hardest part, is to take someone's money out of their wallet, right? Maybe voting is a lot easier because it doesn't cost you anything. But definitely for me, this is encouraging, because I know that like I will have the money to send out the next mailer, send out the next text message, send out the next, put yard signs up, things like that. Like, so all of that will help. And I would appreciate every little dollar of it. Thank you so much.
And we're gonna appreciate you for everything you're doing and everything what you will do for the Floridians. And thank you so much, Lynn, for your time. So I know that the very first time, the future, the very close future is gonna be very hot and very productive. So
Yeah.
I just hoping so you can find enough volunteers to just keep this process clear, and so they just to protect everything in our water pools, so you can change the situation. I strongly, as for me, I strongly believe you, and I strongly wish you the win this election, because I know you're a so serious person. I know you got team, and everything is gonna be great if you're gonna win this.
I forgot to make an
Election.
announcement to you. I think
Okay.
an announcement is we have a event coming up at Federal Republic.
Okay.
So this is for business owners any voter who'd like to join and come meet me, ask me questions. It's going to be, a Q&A, a meet and greet. I'm not going to be making any speeches, but you can ask me how, I can support you, right? So this is more like a session, like a town hall thing. We're all going to be meeting at Federal Republic in Aventura. I will let me send Nick a flyer.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have this is going to be fantastic. And I have to thank Yulia Kinkis for offering her place of business. I sent it to you in WhatsApp, by the way.
Okay.
So I want to thank Yulia, and also give a shout out. Federal Republic is a fantastic restaurant. If you don't want to go to see me, you can go and have a meal. Like, she's so great. I really appreciate her help. She's already put up my signs in her restaurant as well. If you know any restaurants or any place of business that would like to put my sign up, I would be happy to personally deliver it to the owner of the store. So it's coming up Tuesday, July 26th at 3 p.m., right? The address is on the bottom, and you can, I think it should be posted to my social media. So if you see that, you can save it, and there is no RSVP. Although if
And
you
I
let me
posted
know you're
already
coming,
in our social medias as well, in the
awesome.
Telegram, yes, and YouTube and Facebook. It's
Yeah,
everywhere. You can find this information, guys.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Nick. Yeah, this is great. It's a chance for me to meet the small business owners. I know that you were hurt, in COVID, during COVID, and also like post-COVID, forcing your employees to having to get, vaccinations or etc. Right? Either way,
It
like
doesn't
trying
help.
to,
See that the Biden example.
yeah,
It's
yeah. No, well, sometimes,
how
there's
many
age
of them
differences
he
and all
got?
that. What's that?
How many of the vaccine Biden got? Three,
I don't
four,
know, like
five?
4. I don't know. He probably drinks it too. We don't even know.
Every
But
morning.
yeah, and what I'm saying is, like, if you don't agree with, forcing people to do things, right? Like, people having the freedom to choose, like, I'm really one for you. If you feel like your businesses are throttled because there's too much red tape going on, there's too much, one thing that I will definitely support a bill, or even propose a bill if nobody's proposing it, which is to eliminate commercial rental taxes, right? That's 5.5% of your rental every month. that can save you some money and allow you to have maybe a bigger profit margin, or allow you to hire more people to support you. And of course, like, I know it's hard to hire people at this time, but basically, I think that there are so many different ways inside of whatever, all the legislation that is built up, that we can actually make a difference for small business owners to thrive, and during the situation, during the inflation that we're having with gas prices. Gas is also something, like, I want to make sure that, like, our gasoline taxes are extended so for as long as we can, so that we can make sure that people can afford to travel back and forth to their place of work, to their businesses, or for their businesses. So definitely come on over and let's meet up at Federal Republic next Tuesday, okay?
Yes, guys, next Tuesday, July 26th, 3 p.m., Federal Republic. It's on Biscayne Boulevard, it's Aventura. We've been there during our TV meetings before. So please come, please support Lynn Su. So together we can change the situation, but only if we're gonna be together, and only if we support each other. So show the support and show the respect, and everything is gonna be great.
Absolutely.
Lynn,
yes.
thank you so much for this wonderful broadcast with you, for your opinions and for your announcement, and for you here, for you exist. You wanted to change the situation around us. You want to help us. You want to just do something with as a Republican. You going to change our life, our politicians, everything step by step, because I strongly believe the small deals, it's working. It works. So it can change the whole world. It can change all our life if we do something little by little, at least.
Absolutely. Yeah. So all hands on deck for this one, right? We need all the conservative Republicans to, like, get out and do their thing, right? Cast their votes, really exercise their rights. Okay. Thank you so much, Nick, for having me on. I really appreciate you every week. I love it. I mean, I love the chance of having to talk to you, and you asking me these really important questions is really helping me also, like, always be thinking about things for the people as well. So I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Lynn. Thank you.
Thank
See you
you.
next week.
Yeah, see
Bye-bye.
you next week. Take care. Bye. Bye,
Take
everyone.
care. Bye-bye.